So welcome to another video on the Rover. So today I'm going to change the transmission oil, or just give it a bit of a top up really. So it's only something small, but gives you something to look at. So there's the engine. So she's doing all right. She's done 103,000 miles now, so I've done 10,000 miles in this car now. So and she's doing all right. Yeah. Seems all good in there. Could do with a bit of a tidy up, but do you know what? I use the car daily. You know, this car is never going to be a show pony, but as long as it's reliable, you know, and everything works, that's the way I look at it. So yeah, I don't really have to do much in here. I had a bit of a problem with the alternator once. Like the lights were like flickering at night, and like yeah, all the electronics were like flickering. One day is probably going to need a new alternator, but what I did was I took the regulator bush back out, and I gave it a bit of a clean, cleaned all the contacts on it, and there was a lot of like carbon build up from the brush. Blew all that out and put it in, and it's been fine ever since. So yeah, it's yeah. I've also changed the rocker cover gasket at some point. That was earlier this year. I did a bit of a service, changed all the oil, the filters and all that, and put these new leads on and did the rocker covers at the same time. So yeah, look how minging that header tank is. So that I could do with, that's probably something that I won't mind replacing at some point. I know you can still get new ones of them, or you can, if you're struggling to find like an MG Rover one from a Lotus Elise I think fits, and you can still get them. They're readily available. So yeah, that's a bit of a tip for you. I have all these tips and I never actually carry out with them myself. But yeah, anyway, so to top up the gearbox oil on these, you have to, let's see if I can get my foot down there. Ooh. Here's all the down there. So there's a bolt right there that you can see that I've partly loosened off. That took me for ages to do. It was on really tight. I've just got that done. Just got that cracked off. Sorry, that's a couple of video then because really noisy car came. So yeah, that from underneath the car, that's where you put the oil in, and that's where you drain it. So I think a good guide with these is that you know it's got the correct level is, when you completely undo that, it should just be a little bit seeping out. So I've not taken it out all the way yet, so I don't know what the level is at. I'm worried though that it has a slight leak, and I'm getting some free rust protection from somewhere under here, because oh yes, so and it goes all the way to like the gear linkage bit. I don't know if this is from when I had the rocker cover leak, because it was leaking quite badly, and I don't know whether this is residual or something else. I don't know whether this is gearbox oil, because I think these do leak, but I don't know. I'm doing this more for precaution measure, as the fact that the car's 20 years old and it's probably never been replaced. But yeah, I'll have a little clean up whilst I'm down here, because it's like all underneath there. But yeah, it's weird though, because I'm not getting any drips. So like when I look underneath the car, no matter where I park, I'm not getting any seepage or drips on the road or anything. So yeah, don't really, could just be a slight weep. But yeah, anyway, I'll crack on. So yeah, I undid the top 17mm bolt, the where you top it up from. A bit came out, not a lot. So yeah, so that's actually a pretty good sign really. It means that it's retained its gearbox oil. I mean, I'm even parked on a slight angle, so perhaps it was like my passenger side, if you get me, is slightly higher. Although I did jack up the other side of the car whilst it was trickling out, just to try and encourage a bit more to come out. But I may as well just go the whole hog and just use the drain plug. You don't have to use a special like hex key thing. I used the 3/8 ratchet, and it was surprisingly quite easy to undo. So, little tip for you: you don't need to buy a special like bolt or whatever or socket to undo it. 3/8 ratchet will do. So yeah, I'm going to use my high-tech draining can, and we'll see what colour it is when it comes out. So now that I've drained the oil, you can see what sort of state it was in. Yeah, black. Look at the reflection. But yeah, it's weird though when you actually put your finger in it. It didn't look that bad when I was draining it, but now that it's in a container, yeah, you can see it's bad. So yeah, and somewhere in there is the sump plug. It shot down and landed in there somewhere, so I'm gonna have fun. Okay, so now that the gearbox oil is drained, I've refitted these somewhat. I checked when I was pouring the gearbox oil into a suitable container to take away for disposal. I checked the like what I poured, the thing that I created to drain it, and there didn't seem to be any nasty bits floating around in there, like anything at the bottom, or there, either that or if there is any metal bits, they're probably sat at the bottom of the gearbox. But the fact that it's getting fresh oil in it is sort of peace of mind for me. So which brings us on to what we're going to fill it up with. Now, PG1 gearboxes use MTF94. Don't use anything else. Don't go to Halfords and the 75, 90 or 80 whatever stuff, or even engine oil that other gearboxes might be fine with. PG1s, especially ones with a Torsen diff, you've got to use MT4 and MTF94. They're really sensitive, and we know PG1 gearboxes at the best of times, especially the Torsen diff ones. We know they have a weak spot with the bearings, but if you use the correct fluid, it should be okay. The bearings on mine, I don't think have ever been done. I do have a set of bearings in the boot, which I'll show you the kit that I got at some point. This is more sort of like a peace of mind sort of just thing until I get that done. So yeah, 2.2 litres I think is the capacity, judging by how much came out and what was in. I used like a milk carton, which is really good because when you're draining things you can sort of see how much was still in there, and it seemed like the full 2 litres was in the gearbox. So yeah, what I'm going to use to fill it up with is an oil pump gun. So I'll drain some out of there, do bits at a time. You can just use a bit of garden hose pipe. Some people prefer to use that, but I'm just trying not to make a mess or whatever. And I haven't taken the wheel off or anything for this, so yeah, I'll crack on with this now. So yeah, this is how I'm putting the oil into the gearbox. That suction thing, I've taken the handle out to push it down. It's literally just like a great big funnel. There's the hose somewhere down there when it focuses, going into the gearbox. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. Just let gravity do its work. And yeah. Okay, so now that that's all done, I'll do a quick little comparison of the old oil compared with the new oil, just see the difference and what I need doing. So there's the old stuff, absolutely lovely, and I'll just pour a little bit of the new stuff in comparison. There you go. So yeah, I think that needed doing. Car's got 103 or 4,000 miles on it now, so yeah, it's worth doing. And I really don't think that's ever been done, so yeah. Anyway, something else I want to show you is I have this to fit at some point. It's a steel bearing kit for Gearbox. So I got this on eBay. I don't think they come under that on eBay. The guy that sells them. I might try and put in the description on the previous purchases who he is. He's really helpful because there's different types of PG1 gearboxes and stuff like that, and I told him what car it was, what the code of the gearbox, and he was like, yep, you want this one. So yep. And stuff like that, and all that gubbins. I just need to get around to doing it. Slash money saving up to get it done as well. But at least I got the parts for ready to eventually get it done. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope some people found that useful. And yeah, it's not really an exciting video, but hopefully we'll get a bit more of these up in the future. Thanks a lot.